up? What up? What up? It's your boy Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. App like you got some spin, smash and hit the like and subscribe. Jesus. Tongue Tied Tuesday. That's what this is. Tongue Tied Tuesday. Men's Final Four coming this Saturday. Will you watch Alabama, UConn, one side of the bracket, NC State, and Purdue on the other side of the bracket? So many good storylines. We'll go through those. Also, Malik Monk, hands down the sixth man of the year in the NBA. He is out for 4 weeks with knee surgery. Wishing him a speedy recovery. We'll talk more about that. Then we'll talk about Rashee Rice. He's on the idiot train for having raced a Corvette and a Lamborghini and injuring 4 people, and just gets out and walks away. There's video. Shocking. All right. So we got those stories, a little bit more. There was a women's game in college everybody was pining for. I think I stayed true to my roots. I didn't watch last year when they played each other. I could care less this year. But however, this year, Caitlin, she was victorious. Caitlin Clark. So high five her. The Iowa girls going to the women's Final Four. High five them. I'm sure it was a good game. However, I did not watch. So again, I'm, like I said, true to my roots. I don't watch it last year. I didn't watch it this year. Yay me. All right. So we will be back when we take a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Yes, Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Download the app, order online, or visit your folks at your local Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. All right, so let's start with the association. And we talk about Malik Monk. And Malik Monk, he plays for the Sacramento Kings. This comes out of Fox Sports. The Kings said Saturday that Malik has a sprained MCL in his right knee, and they're reevaluating that for 4 weeks. Monk got hurt early in a 107-103 loss to the Dallas Mavericks on Friday. Now, Sacramento entered the day in the 8th place in the Western Conference and is trying to make they're trying to make it into the top 6 to avoid a play-in tournament. The play-in tournament starts April the 16th, and the first round is on April the 20th. So they don't want to be the teams fighting to get into the playoff situation, having play-in games. Now, I would say that works at a disadvantage for guys who have old legs and old teams. However, the Kings are relatively a young team, but still you don't want to take your bumps and bruises and then you have to go play the number 1 or the number 2 seed in the Western Conference Finals. The Kings are already without guard Kevin Huerter, who will likely miss the rest of the season with left shoulder surgery. Now, Malik, he leads all players in the NBA in points off the bench, 1,110, and his assist is 370. So that's why I said that hands down, he's the sixth man of the year, because he's leading every guy in the NBA in that department. And this is definitely a problem because the Kings, as they mentioned, are in the beginning or in the beginning of the paragraph, they are ranked 8th at 42 wins to 31 losses in the Western Conference, but the backstretch is brutal. The teams that they have on the schedule, the teams that they have, the Jazz, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Nets, the Thunder, Pelicans, Suns, Trailblazers. Now, the Clippers are 4th in the Western Conference. The Knicks are 4th. In the Eastern Conference, the Celtics are number 1. So they'll throw you a Mickey Mouse game with the Jazz, because the Jazz, they're out of contention. At this point, they can only play spoiler. But then you take on the mid-level and upper tiers of the Eastern and Western Conference, because after the Knicks, you got to play the Celtics. And then you get to go ahead and roll in the trash with the Nets, but then you're right back to the top of the Western Conference against the Thunder, and then you're looking at the Pelicans holding down the 5 spot. Then you have to play the Suns, and the Suns are 7th, so they're ranked above you. But then you get a softball at the end of the season with the Portland Trailblazers. So you clearly see how this is lining up and why they needed Malik Monk, and he couldn't go down because that guy gave you production big time. And just how much production remains to be seen. But we'll get into that when we come back from an unofficial break from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern. See you in 20. Drop it. Subway, eat fresh to refresh. Try any of the Subway Signature Series subs. Order online. Visit your good folks at your local Subway. Even try the sidekicks. They got a foot-long cookie, a churro, and a pretzel. Subway, eat fresh to refresh. Okay, so when we last left off, we talked about the importance of Malik Monk to the Sacramento Kings. Now, when you look at the playoff picture, because if the playoffs started right now, they'd play the Sun in that 7-8 matchup. And I think they can win that series because they have a young crowd. But it just remains to be seen. So let's play devil's advocate and say they beat the Suns. I definitely don't see them beating OKC. You'd have Monk back by that time. You'd have him back by that time, but they're not beating OKC. They're not going to beat the Thunder. You can get that out of your head. That's nonsense. So there's no need to put them in a no-win scenario, jeopardizing next season by rushing him right out there and just in time for that series. But there are some bright spots because it's easy to say they can't. What can they do in the realm of reality? Like Harrison Barnes, for example, he's a horse. This season, he's already averaging 40 minutes a game. He's averaging 12.3 points and he's shooting 47.8% from the field. Now, he can pick his shooting up, but I don't suggest it. But with Herter, the point guard missing already for the season, and now you're losing your 6th man, that edge coming off the bench, somebody's got to jack these shots up, and it might as well be him, Keegan Murray. I think he's a superstar in the making. Him and De'Aaron Fox, they have to take it to another level, and it's time for him, in my opinion, to get to that next step, because he's averaging 33.2 minutes this year, along with 14 points a game, and he's shooting 46% from the field. And so Keegan Murray, definitely, this is where he can actually emerge as that 1-2 punch with De'Aaron Fox. Kessler Edwards, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife guy, 4th-year guy who came from Brooklyn. Anytime you give that guy over 10 minutes, he almost gives you 10 points. The guy's shooting 42.3% from the field, 6'7", small forward, power forward, kind of a stretch, kind of athletic. You see where I'm going with that. But they don't have to just look for guys on the team. They can also go down to the Stockton Kings. That's the G League outfit for the Sacramento Kings. And if they went down that road and you're looking for a guard, you'd have to look at Jalen Noel, the 25-year-old former 2019 second-round pick out of Washington. He's averaging 17 points a game. So in a perfect scenario, you can pick him up to cover up the spots where you got Hooter and he's out. You would actually have a solidified chance to really shock some people and go deep in a playoff run. Because I don't think anybody has any tape on Jalen Noel coming out of the G League from the Stockton Kings, and you're going to need that in the Western Conference. Like I said, there's going to be no Lakers. There's not going to be Golden State. So you don't have to worry about fending off those guys because they're not going to be there. But what you do have to worry about is a very young and a very dangerous OKC. You have to worry about a very young and athletic Minnesota Timberwolves team. Then you've got to worry about the Pelicans, who are also playing at a really high level right now. And I think if you add Noel as that roster filler, then the Kings may have a chance to shock a lot of people in the Western Conference, or they may not. Like I say, one of those things we'll have to see. But a lot of show to go. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. We'll be back.